Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. Summer is already nearly over. Oh, so fast. And since we're approaching the end of August, I figured it would be a good time to do yet another Watch News video. So let us begin. For this first little bit of news, I have to give a shout out to Worn and Wound. Thank you so much for this term that I'm about to share with you. What is the opposite of an in-house movement? An outhouse movement. Perfect. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to remember that and use it often. So great. Also in the news, Orient has released the Orient Star Diver 1964 2nd edition. This is a great looking dive watch and it's cool seeing Orient in the news. So what do I think of this watch? Well, not a whole lot. It looks great. But the thing that I'm most excited about with this watch is the power reserve indicator at the 12 o'clock position. That is so nice with an automatic watch, especially one that might be sitting on the shelf for a while here and there, like a tool watch that you pick up occasionally and wear, but it kind of sits on the shelf here and there. Having a power reserve indicator would be so great because you'll know exactly how full it is. That's the one thing that I love about manually wound watches. You always know how full they are. You can wind them up once a day and you know that they're going to make it till the next day. With an automatic watch, you could do the Seiko shake, but you never really know how full that mainspring is. With the power reserve indicator, you know that all the time. I feel like this is a complication that should be more common with automatic watches, even if it's kind of hidden away in like a display case back or something like that. But with a solid case back, maybe we could explore different ways of displaying this. Maybe like a really subtle little bar that gives you the power level. Maybe that could appear to be part of the text on the dial so it kind of blends in with the design. Or if you look at Nomos, with some of their date complications that are around the edge of the dial, perhaps something like that would work, just to make it really subtle, and again, part of the design. But power reserve indicators, super cool. And it's awesome to see this watch with one of those. This just in, days are getting shorter. And no, I don't mean with the coming of winter, I mean in general. So apparently, for a while now, we've been measuring the length of days, and recently, there's been a trend of days becoming shorter and shorter. And this article, by Time and Tide Watches, poses the question of if this trend continues, what does that mean for watch nerds? Are we eventually going to have something akin to a daylight savings time, where we're going to have to adjust our time back an hour or forward an hour, whichever, so that our experience of days doesn't wander out of sync with our clocks, so that in the middle of the afternoon it's actually getting dark because days are shorter. What do I think of this? Well, before we start panicking, putting on tinfoil hats, and wondering how much longer we have before the Earth just spirals out into space, my feeling is this might, just might, be part of a larger cycle. Relatively speaking, we haven't been measuring this for a huge amount of time, so for all we know, this could be part of a very long cycle of days shortening, and then after a while they become longer again, or perhaps this is affected by elements outside of our planet. So forces or events with the sun or other bodies, celestial bodies, may have sort of a random effect on the Earth's rotation, causing our days to become longer or shorter in sort of random patterns. So, I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with. But for now, the days are getting shorter, and who knows, we may have to adjust our clocks periodically to keep our clocks in sync with what's happening out there. This next article comes in from Time and Tide Watches, and it's an article on toxic materials in watches. Is your watch killing you? The author was talking about stainless steel and how perhaps materials that are not so good for us can leach out of the metal. So what do I think of this? Well, most of us eat our food with stainless steel utensils. So we're literally putting this metal into our mouths every day when we're eating. And stainless steel has been in use for quite a while. So I'm not terribly concerned about that. I feel like we would see some side effects by now, surely. But the author did bring up a good point in regards to leather watch straps. Now, I'm not sure exactly what goes into curing leather or finishing it. There may be some toxic substances that are used for some of that curing or finishing of the leather. I'm not really sure. However, just like stainless steel, leather straps have been in use with watches for a long time now. And again, we haven't really seen any evidence of them causing harm to the people that are wearing them. So I feel at this point, I'm not going to be too concerned. However, if you are, you could go for gold watches, which was the suggestion of the author, and you could get those with gold bracelets as well, and then you'll feel a bit safer. And recently, Grand Seiko has put out 2 different releases, a silver dialed watch and a brown dialed watch. This came in from Escapement magazine, and when I was looking through their article and saw like the wrist shots of that brown dial Grand Seiko, that looked amazing, absolutely beautiful. What do I think of this? Brown dial watches are not something I've ever considered. I'm pretty tame when it comes to dial colors and just overall style of watches that I personally collect. I have been obsessing a little bit about red dial watches. I would love to get one at some point in time, but I had never ever considered a brown dial watch. However, after seeing these photographs in this article, I may have to keep my eyes open for one because that looks brilliant. Brown dial watches. Craziness. That's been Watch News as of about the middle of August 2022. Thanks for watching.